Okay, so Frank Martin versus Michel Rivera. Two fighters who showed pretty good technique, okay? And we got to see these two meet up with one another last night, all right? We got to see who was the best. Both fighters in Frank Martin and Michael Rivera both fought the same opponent, okay? Um, I said Michael Rivera, I'm sorry, Michel Rivera. Okay, Michel Rivera had defeated Jerry Perez by unanimous decision. That was his last opponent before facing Frank Martin. But Frank Martin had faced Jerry Perez first, and he ended up knocking him out. And after Jerry Perez had lost to Frank Martin, he had went on to defeat another undefeated fighter in Erickson Lanzaya or something like that. Erickson or Eric Lanzaya. I can't pronounce the guy's name, but you guys should know who I'm talking about. He was undefeated. Okay. And Jerry Perez knocked that dude out. And then, he ended up meeting up with Michel Rivera. Michel Rivera, used that smooth jab, used that, cool upper body movement to defeat Jerry Perez to a 12-round unanimous decision. Okay. Now, what I noticed about Michel Rivera is that, he got that, like I said, that real nice smooth jab going with him. Okay. And I was thinking to myself, like, damn, Frank Martin, he's going to have to find a way to get around that jab. Now, what I was thinking that Frank Martin will slip the jab, counter to the body with the uppercut, or slip the jab and, land a left cross on him. Okay. But damn, Frank Martin did something else. My man was smothering his jab. He was smothering Rivera's jab. Every time Rivera throw it out there, Frank Martin will knock it out the air and come over with the left, the left cross. But I'm like, damn, okay, I haven't seen this in a minute, all right? I was like, my boy, he got some moves there, okay? And he also had some great footwork, compared to Michel Rivera, okay? It feels so weird calling another man Michel. Okay, my goodness. I'm just going to say Rivera, all right? Frank Martin, he got some pretty good footwork, all right? I like it. Now, he could have, still slipped the jab and whatnot and, counter, with some uppercuts or hooks to the body or either a jab to the body, by going underneath the jab or going over top with a right hook. You know what I'm saying? He could have still done that, but he showed another skill. All right. Now, outperformed, Rivera real bad last night. My goodness. Rivera, he had, I'll say he had some moments. They weren't that long, but, he did land some good shots on him, But, just looking at, the way Frank Rivera was, with his defense linked all the way over. So when the much taller Rivera would throw his shots, it will land completely on Frank Martin's shoulder. I'm looking at this kid. I'm like, man, he is something special. Okay, he's something special. All right. So, yeah, a lot of people is now saying that, he should be facing Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Javante Davis, so on and so on. All right. Now, I would say, nah, that's way too soon. But hell, who the hell am I to say that, Frank Martin isn't ready for, those guys yet, Frank Martin, he could have more tricks up his sleeve. We just haven't seen them yet. All right. Like all them fighters I just named, they're way totally different caliber fighters than Michel Rivera. I said I wasn't going to say that name again. But yeah, they're way totally different, calibers than him. All right. So who knows? Frank Martin could turn it up, you know, a notch just to face those calibers and show us what he really do has. You know, I remembers when Jerron Ennis had stated that he wanted Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. And I'm like, nah, man, he ain't ready yet. But once again, who the hell am I to say Jerron Ennis isn't ready? Okay. Who knows? He might end up beating both, you know, Spence and Crawford next year. If, you know, they decide to fight Jerron Ennis or study fighting each other, you know? And with Frank Martin, who knows? He might end up beating what? Shakur. He might end up beating Haney. You know what I'm saying? Javante Davis and Vasil Lomachenko. Now you might say I'm dreaming, but hell, you never know. Okay, you never know. The kid is special. You know, he's a natural talent. And for my man's Michael Rivera, okay, for him, you know, look, having one loss, okay, it isn't the end of the world. Okay, you lost to someone who was greater than you. Now, what you have to do is go back and look at that tape and, you know, look at what you needs to learn. Like, hey, the way he was smothering your punches, that's a new technique you should learn. His footwork, okay, you got to learn to have good footwork just like Frank Martin, okay? You know, you got to take from your losses. You know, you got to take from the opponents you lost to and, you know, learn some of their tricks, add some of their tricks to your own style, you know? I mean, look, if a boxer can go, you know, like let's say 3 losses on their record, and they can go like 8 or 10 or 12 fights down the line without losing another fight, that means they learned off of each and every single loss. And now they're, you know, hey, they're ready, okay? Them 12 straight fights that they had won, okay, only proves that, hey, they're ready, okay? They're the ones to be reckoned with, all right? So I wouldn't look down on, you know, Michel Rivera just because he had lost, okay? This right here, this loss is something he's going to learn from. He should. I hope he does, okay? Learn some of them tricks, okay? Be like Canelo Alvarez when he learned from Floyd Mayweather, all right? He's been on the road ever since. So, anyways, that's my take on this. This is CMD Boxing Reports, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.